So good afternoon to you all. It's a pleasure to welcome you for this, pleasure to welcome all the teachers and students of the Dr. D.Y. Patil Biotechnology and Bioinformatics Institute to this training session number 2 for concerning scientific review writing. Sorry. So today the speaker is Professor Nilesh Sharma. I welcome him. I also welcome our panelists, Professor Neelu Navani, Professor J.K. Paul, who is still not arrived, Dr. Rajesh Gupta, and also our student coordinators, Shrishti and Rituja. And IPSA is hosting the session. So I will once again welcome all of them. So before I invite Professor Nilesh for delivering his talk, I request all the students to send the questions to Shrishti and Rituja, and we'll be happy to answer them. So I invite Professor Nilesh Sharma to deliver his talk.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Satish. And it is my pleasure to share or discuss, in a sense, in practicality, how to achieve the objective of review writing as a summer activities. And in continuation to the session 1, where Professor Pal sir has already briefed us and highlighted some of the aspects of review writing session. So I will continue with certain other aspects. And I'm sure that a student will have certain message or instruction how to go ahead with their research, review writing activities. And I'm also thankful to Professor Navani Madam and Professor Pal sir as a whole team to have facilitated, in a sense, for all faculties and most importantly students, starting from first year to irrespective of year or BTech or postgraduate program or PhD, it is equally important. So in that direction, I would like to, I think I'm able to share the screen from my side. Yes, Ipsa Madam?
Yes, sir, you will be able to.
Okay, so now I will share. All right, thank you. So, good afternoon to all students and faculty members. If you look at here, this particular review session 2, his whole mandate and objectives are, we have to look into the research paper as we discussed in the previous session 1. Professor Pal sir has already highlighted us. Selection of research paper is very, very important. And therefore, this particular session will let us know how to, mining, or you can say retrieval of the information from the research paper. What are the steps? What are the needful has to be done? And the second important is how to comprehend into our own self or ideas, so that plagiarism can be avoided. And at the same time, we will also discuss some aspect of citation and if you look at the first 3 major objectives, definitely one is the extraction or retrieval of information from research paper. What others they have presented, authors of existing paper or the paper what we are going to refer, what is their ideas? And we have to extract those ideas and present in our own word, language, sentences, ideas, etc. And second point is definitely how to avoid plagiarism by using our own self-imagined or you can say idea or comprehension. And third is definitely the citation reference. What I have done, I have categorized or you can say divided this presentation into 3 objectives. First definitely objective is the extraction or mining of information from the research paper. One thing we should be very clear, whenever we say mining of research paper, it is not just a Word document. Mining of research paper, it can be text, it can be data, it can be table, it can be figure, or it can be even discuss their ideas or insights. So for that perspective, step one is definitely, we discussed in the last session, the topic is very, very important. We cannot start review writing or review activities for as a biology or cancer. So we have to be very precise and to the point, and that is why selection of topic is very, very important. Then question may be in your mind how to decide the topic what we are looking at. Definitely as a team, you can discuss with your mentor, teacher, and then you can finalize your topic. Then most important to me come here, that is selection of keywords is very, very important. Like, the topic what you are going to refer is a story. And to make a story very clear and lucid, you should have very well devised keywords. So with your mentor, second important aspect is to sit down and discuss, what are the potential keyword that will make a boundary of your story? That is the topic what you are looking at. And third aspect is you have to divide your story into a subsection. That means ideas has to be divided into the sub-ideas so that your topic or what you are going to write as a review paper, that should look like a flow of information. Or it should be like the first subsection should be connected to the second and third. Definitely, as a student, like if you will ask a question, it is not possible. Only it is possible once you will discuss with your mentor and the teacher, and then you will formalize that particular structure of your story or the. Then step two, comes here. Okay, I have decided the topic of interest. I have decided the keywords. Then what? What should be the best, reference article or the research paper where your topic or the story is centered upon? It is again a very difficult task. And in this particular difficult task, definitely your basic work, that is, to have the 10 keywords, for example, that will help you. And now the second question comes here, how to have that particular reference article from a good, reputed and credential databases. And even Professor Pal sir already discussed in the first session. There are various databases, various sources of reference articles are there. There is no any doubt. But as a beginner, to all of you as a student, all of a sudden you cannot access all the databases, all the publishers, all the journals. Definitely it is a difficult task. So what I recommend, at least if you look at here, you can refer at least these category of sources of information. And what I have made in a very different way, like PubMed, as Professor Pal sir already discussed, Scopus, Web of Science and ISCO, Host. These are the databases where you are going to have the different category of research article or the paper. There are also, you can go to the publishing houses like Springer, Science Direct, Science, etc. You can also, nowadays it is also very good to have a research networking site. You can go to the ResearchGate, ORCID, etc. Nowadays additional resources are available, that is in the form of preprint server like bioRxAV, MadeRx. I mean, these all additional information, I believe that it is going to be very beneficial to all the students and faculty. If sometime, they are not able to access full-length article or, some issues are there, they can explore other than PubMed, Scopus and resources. These research networking site and preprint server is going to be very beneficial. So what I'm going to do, I will take all of you in a practicality to these some of the site what I have thought, and then I recommend all of you, whenever a particular site is going to be open from your side, please go open and log in it. Create your user ID. No need to worry, whether do you have any research credential right now, like, if someone is in first year, second year, they may not have. But what I recommend, please go and create your own login ID. This is the right time. That will create slowly and slowly, drop by drop, your credentials will be accumulated. Also, forget about accumulation. You can also have the idea about all these, database, networking site, preprint server, and in your exercise of review writing session, it will be very, very helpful. Okay. So in that direction, before I will go to all these databases in practicality, one thing I would like to say to all the students. I think you all have the ERP ID. So please log into the ERP ID, and there is one section that is e-resources. I think I know NPTEL and SWAYAM, but our DPU, they have also hosted various other research databases. And these databases are going to be very helpful to you to explore these all reference article or any scientific article. Like, I recommend specifically go to the IBISCO host from your ERP. You can go to the JGate, Shodh Sindhu, Shodh Ganga, and then Scopus is definitely, it is very, very important. So what I mean, once we'll go to these server or the web page, please create your login ID. That is first and foremost required. It will give you the actual idea how the scientific literatures are going to be advanced day by day. And at the same time, it will be helpful to our university and the college that all the students are aware of new type of databases and research databases. I have already provided the link for our on-campus DPUERP, and I believe that all of you have. Please log in very frequently and visit these research sites. Other than DPUERP, you know that number of the sites like PubMed, these are free. But one more important point to be noted down here. In the last session, so the student, they raised question. If we are going to go to the PubMed and we are going to enter some keywords, the search results are there, like thousands or hundreds. How to monitor, how to keep a record of, how many searches we have done, what is the appropriate publication. And I will give you a very small idea. And again, it is very important here. All right. So I think this link you can copy from here, and you can also visit this particular site. One more important recommendation to all of the students. Once you will visit this particular PubMed site, there is an option of creating login ID. And it is very important. Please create your login ID into this database. And for the login ID, no fee or payment is there. It is free. And you can log in with your Gmail ID or any other ID. So that is the flexibility. Once you will create your own login ID to the PubMed, you will be able to monitor your own activities on this particular PubMed. All the references, all the citation, all the bibliography, you can manage through your own login ID. So as a student, that is the first requirement. You can please go and then explore this PubMed site. The next very important for all the students is Science Direct. This particular Science Direct data or database, no doubt it is another form, but this Science Direct is very comprehensive. And if you look at, there are thousands of journals are listed in this particular database. Now, if you can look at this particular slide, what I have done, I have used two keywords to find how many results are going to be retrieved. And if you look at the data, that is around 68,000. That means by only these two keywords, which are the cancer and epigenetics, so 68,000 papers or the references are going to be tried. So what is the key message here? The key message is, if we are going to explore according to our research interest or the topic, we have to fine tune. We have to devise a method of selection of the keywords so that instead of 68,000 of result, there should be filtered or limitation. That is the one aspect. Again, what I suggest to all the students, please go to this particular link and create your own user ID and the login. It will again, here is the benefit of creating a user ID. Once you will create your own user ID, not of mentor, your own. So what you will benefit according to your interest. Like suppose I'm a student and I have interest in cancer and epigenetics. So the Science Direct, they will ask you your preference. What is your research interest? What is your broad topic? And accordingly, what will happen? Science Direct, they will keep starting sharing some of the recent publication. And at the same time, they will also help you to monitor your activities or search activities on this particular portal. So whatever websites we are referring here, that is very, very highly recommended. Please go and create your own login ID and password. The third, if you look at again, Springer is very well comprehensive publishing house. Again, Springer has thousands of journals listed. And then if you look at here again example. So what I have done, if I'm using the 2 keywords as a search in Springer, again, they are showing thousands of results. The same line, you have to be very smart here, how to pinpoint, how to filter your own interest research paper. One more question maybe to all of you. Once the search results are displayed, most of the time, some paper are not going to be available as a full text article. They are only going to display it as abstract or summary of the paper. No need to worry. There are various other options. Even our university, DPU, they also host various subscribed journals where we can have the access of full-length article from the DPU as a system. Also, you can discuss with your mentor, you can discuss with your peers, and definitely full text article will be. Now, one more important point, other than Springer, that's what I discussed. ResearchGate is very important to all of you. As a beginner, you know how to have that particular reference article. Again, I recommend please go and create your own user ID. It will again help you to create your own research area or the topic where you are interested. Like I'm interested in plant biotechnology. So I may create my own niche. I may create my own space here, and you will be connected to the different other, university scientists, professors, etc. And that will be a good platform. So that is the right time to start by creating your own user ID and password. And it is again free. One more important, look at here. If you look at the screen here, I have used 2 keywords, cancer and epigenetics for search. And if you look at again, there are thousands of papers are going to be used as a search result in ResearchGate. And again, these papers are available as a full text, or even if it is not available as a full text, you can request a particular author or the scientist to share their full text article. And it is a good platform. Another important point is, I would like to share here other than PubMed or Scopus and Web of Science, that is the preprint server. Again, if you look at, these preprint servers are free for scientific purpose, for the student, for the faculties. You can create your, again, login ID here. It will keep you updating on the recent article which are going to be published. Also, you can refer here some of the new and very, very important research article. Like, I have used 2 keywords here, and accordingly they display the result. So the whole intent to share with all of you this link, and any of the students, you can connect with me, or the video will be available with you, or I will share the PPT. You can have the link of all these social networking site, preprint server, research database for your ease, and then start creating your login ID. Now, once everything is clear, okay, I have the full length article. What is the next? How to read, how to understand, how to comprehend, how to articulate in our own self ideas and imagination. So for your benefit, one point to share here. You are like, someone is in first year, second year, they are the beginner. They cannot have all the imagination or the ideas all of a sudden. So my recommendation to all of the students is have some prerequisites. Like for example, again, I'm taking the cancer example. It can be applicable to each and every domain like plant biotech or industrial microbiology. If it is cancer epigenetics, I'm interested and I have discussed with my mentor. So the mentor expectation or recommendation will be at least these 4 subjects. Please revise. If you have been taught in your previous semester, well and good. Even though it has not been taught, please discuss with your mentor, have some input or ideas, and have some basic understanding on these 4 basic subjects. And in my view, once you have these understanding as a prerequisite, it will be very easy to have the understanding or comprehension of that particular research article where your interest is going to be there. All right. Now the next point is, okay, I have the prerequisite knowledge. Okay, I know cell biology or genetics or molecular biology. And now I'm going to enter into a review writing activities where cancer or epigenetics is involved. Then what? What is the need here? The second need is we have to download the full length article. We have to use the highlighter. We have to pinpoint or prepare what are the main 10 keywords or the terminologies. Those are written in the full length article. That terminology can be new to all of you. Maybe like name of the gene may be new, name of the receptors may be new, name of the some technical methods are new. No need to worry. Note down all these terminologies in your notebook and elaborate on these terms and discuss with your mentor. Oh, what is the meaning of these genes? What is the meaning of that receptor? What is the meaning of that method? That will allow you to prepare yourself to create your own idea. Otherwise, what will happen? The full-length article will be with you, but at the same time, actual imagination is not going to be conceptualized or fruitful. So that is my recommendation. The second is, once you have the clear ideas of these keywords or terminologies, the most requirement is read, read, and read. Abstract of those selected basic reference articles. And once you will read those abstract, then you will have idea whether this paper is relevant to your story, what you started in the beginning, whether this paper is actually going to be helpful to be a part of one of the reference article for your research ideas. And then once you have that confirmation after discussion with your mentor, then you can read whole paper starting from the abstract introduction to the conclusion. One more important thing I would like to share here, because most of the time this is the fear factor. How to read sometime full length paper maybe of 30 page, 40 page, etc. So big paper. How to comprehend ideas from these big papers? It will take a lot of time. Yes, it is going to take a lot of time. That is why prerequisite knowledge is also very important. At the same time, smart reading is very important. And if you are going to go in this way, what will happen? Least time or the minimum time you are going to invest, and at the same time, the ideas or the thoughts that are going to be generated, that will be almost close to the actual meaning of that paper. One more thing, these research article, what you are going to refer, actually these are the outcome of several years by a group of scientists. It is not an easy task like a beginner, like if you are in second year, third year, fourth year, to all of a sudden you will comprehend whole paper within a few days or a few weeks. No, it is not going to possible. Yes, you can to a certain extent by discussing with your mentor or faculty to go to the actual meaning of that paper, go to the actual content of that paper, and then you will start developing. And the last point is, in one night, it is not going to be possible. It will take time. One day, day after day, you will start reading those papers, you will start understanding, and then what will happen? In your mind, those words, those terminologies, those methodologies, or whatever the things are used in these research articles in your area of interest. That is very important. It will start accumulating. And then you will start making a imagination or right. Okay. The second important point is, if your ideas are not up to mark, then what will happen? It will go other side, and that will lead to also sometime that is plagiarism. So we have to be very careful. The whole conclusion of the message is the ideas or the imagination has to be developed, has to be created. Otherwise, it will go into the side of plagiarism. Now, I have also compiled this particular point because once you will go for comprehending the research paper, the first and foremost, if you look at the step one, we have to acknowledge the people. We have to acknowledge certain other paper or the existing knowledge those has contributed in the field of your interest. We have to learn how to predict, how to identify the main ideas from that particular paper. Third important step, I think, we have to also learn how to question the existing ideas that are going to be presented from that particular paper. Then fourth step is also that is the power of thinking is also very important. And then visualization or imagination, to my point of view, is most equally important. And then lastly is once you will accumulate all the points together, then you can create a mini story into a paragraph. And then definitely, once you will write a paragraph in your own ideas or imagination, do not forget to cite. Do not forget to give a credit to those authors, those have invested several years to bring a particular research find. Now, once you will go by, again, one more thing I would like to share. To present on the slide, to cite these words, these are the steps or requirement, but in practice becomes difficult. So what my recommendation is, do from your side. I mean, no need to fear whether the comprehended text will be bad or excellent, but please start, and then day after day you will go to your desired target or the. Now the next point is, okay, once I have the ideas or understanding based on the capabilities, how we can invest, like, if first year student is there, definitely their capabilities will be different to imagine or to develop that idea, but it does not matter. Never feel that your paragraph or the ideas are bad. Whatever developed ideas are, please note it down onto your paper in your Microsoft Word or any other gadget, even it can be mobile phone. And once you have noted down, then look at back. Discuss with your mentors. Fine tune your ideas. And again, I would like to suggest here, it is not like, once you have written, it is final. It will need several drafts, rewriting, in tune with your mentor, and then ultimately you will analyze your story or the ideas from that particular reference. Now, okay, I have created, or we have, or you have created the ideas paragraph, but at the last, what I suggest, and I will share one screen, probably, do not forget to check cross references. Also, there is an option of cited by. There is an option of similar articles. There is an option of medical subject headings, that is MESS. Actually, MESS is almost similar to the first part of your review session where you have decided your 10 important keywords. This is the same. These aspect is also very important. Once we'll start, mini story, another mini story, several other mini story from several other research articles into a one big story. So we have to connect it together. We have to create a large story as you have started in the beginning in the form of research topic or the topic of the paper. However, I have linked this particular PubMed. Ipsa madam, can you please help me? I have to display this particular link.
Sir, you have to close the PPT and then
I have to close. Okay.
the PPT afterwards. Then only the link will be displayed. I can do that.
Because now I'm clicking this particular link, it should go to the actual website. That's what my expectation. But
So when PPT will close, then only it will run. Let's try once.
okay. Give me a minute. So I will share the PubMed page. Just okay. So whether the screen is shareable or accessible to all of you. Okay. So my dear, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we can see.
Yeah, so my dear student, look at here is the very, very important point. So what I started in the beginning, if I'm going to select these two keywords in the PubMed, and one more important thing. Uh, okay, so one important thing to note it down here. There are numerous, huge number of videos are available in the PubMed or other sources. How to search in PubMed and huge informations are there. But I recommend all the students of our DYPBI, those are interested in the review activities, make your life simpler in the beginning because you are the beginner. So we have to go step by step. So we have to, what I thought, there are only 5 most important information what you will need right now to start with your journey. And first important steps are selection of keywords. Okay. So like suppose I have selected 2 keywords, cancer and epigenetics. And now what I will enter here. Okay. So one more important thing here. So there is an option of login. So here is the login option. You can I have already logged in or used my ID. So likewise, you all can create your own login ID. So once you will enter the keywords here, so what will happen? Look at here, like 40,000 of results are retrieved. It is nearly impossible to all of you to study within 1 month or 2 months or 2 months. So what is the strategy? The strategy is to discuss with your mentor and finalize the right combination of keywords that will make a boundary of your story. What you have imagined at the beginning of your review activities. And in that way, what will happen? The whole number of the paper has to be minimized, like in few hundred. Okay. One more thing. You can also take care of the years. Like suppose number of years are very huge number, so you can go for last 10 years or 5 years according to the discussion with your mentor. Like if you both agree, okay, we can go for review activities or summary of activities for the last 5 years, you can go accordingly. And then you can see here, number of the retrieved results are going to be appreciably reduced. Another very important point is, as we discussed, suppose I'm going to open this particular article. Okay, so here is the point. Once you will open this particular article, so the tabs which are very important, as I discussed, do not forget to click this particular tab, similar articles. This will help you to make a chain after chain, mini story after mini story, because all these papers are well connected with each other. Also, do not forget to see some of the paper which are cited by this article, because the citing articles are also highly connected to the your existing reference article. Second important aspect is click here. Look at here MESH. MESH is medical subject headings. No doubt, if a student is from plant biotechnology, their keywords may be different. But these are the example. So we have to also follow these medical subject heading that will make a little bit, what you started with your own keywords, the keywords which are going to be displayed here. And the last and most important point, do not forget to click here. So once you will click this particular button, what I get here, look at here. So this is the actual reference, what we are going to refer in our review activities. So in your activities, I can copy here this particular reference and you can use in our Microsoft Word, like in the copy button is here. Another important point is, once you will create your own login ID to this PubMed, you can also manage your references citation in your own login ID. And that will also keep making a recording, or you can say the accumulation of the data. What type of the keyword you have searched in the last week, how many papers you have downloaded, how many papers you have cited, so everything is going to be accumulated. So please create your login ID, and it is free, and it is going to be very, very Another important point is, if you look at this particular paper, in the last page, even the cross references are available. So please also try to suppose this particular paper. So this paper is on dietary nutrients on the epigenetic changes in cancer. So this paper, if you look at here, is well connected to the paper what I have used here. So that will also give you a very clear idea. So those papers are well connected with each other. You have to focus it to create a particular story or a particular research topic what you are going to imagine for your research activities. Now, I think that will be enough for you guys as a startup, as a beginning steps, so that no doubt there are end of search in advanced options are there in PubMed and other database. But as a beginner, that will be good enough, and that will make your life very easy. Now I will go to the once again presentation. Okay. All right. So this was the slide where I was discussing, and I took the help of as a PubMed web page, how we can handle this particular issues. Okay, very fine. We have comprehended the ideas. We have looked into the cross references cited by similar article, keywords, everything is well and good. Again, story is not complete. We have to develop an ideas or imagination, how to pull together these small stories into a subtext. So please discuss with your mentor time to time. Do not work in isolation. So that one paper or two paper or reference article you have looked into it, discuss with your mentor how to connect those discussed paper within the larger frame of your research topic or the story. Very good. One major important point too I'd like to share with the student here. Okay, text comprehension is very good. You have developed your ideas, but one major point is, what about the figures, images, data, number? Those are also given in that particular reference chart. So please care about these aspects also. So in every sense, as text is important, importance is also given to the figures or images. Those are embedded within the paper. So to make a copy of the figure or the images or the data, again, is a serious plagiarism. So please be very careful. Then what you will ask? Then whether we have to create our own figure or images, yes, if you have a particular imagination or you can say thought, you have to create your own figures or images. Imagine due to the time issue or some other issue, if you are not able to create your own figure or images, then you have to you have to look for permission from the authors or the journal or any other publishing house. That is very, very important. One more aspect, once you will write your thesis or dissertation, the same rules are applicable. Please be very clear. The comprehension of your text or the copy of any image or the figure is equally, or the same rule is applicable to your review activities or the thesis or the dissertation. There is no leniency or relaxation. In any case, if you are going to make a copy from any other existing sources, one thing, you have to duly seek the permission or also acknowledge the credit of those authors of the time. So text and figure both are very, very important. That is the whole message what I want to convey. Okay, once you have resolved the issue of text comprehension and the figure comprehension, then some question may be in all of your mind. Oh, why these issues are very, very important? What will be the loss? What will be the disadvantages? And I have compiled here in a very simple term. Can you look at the umbrella? If you look at the umbrella here, so this umbrella is working to work or a production system. So your original ideas or the comprehension, once you will go for review activities or dissertation, it will protect you also, you from a blame or unethical practices. That is plagiarism. And also that your activities is protecting other authors so that their ideas are not going to be copied. their ideas are also protected. That means your comprehension or develop or practice of self ideas are going to work as the umbrella or the protective system at two ends. One is the original author, those has developed the first ideas, and also it will help you to protect yourself from being blamed for plagiarism. And that means you will be at the right stage of ethical practices. And everyone will accept your article, your review activities, or thesis, or the dissertation wholeheartedly. So please remember those important points. And these are the benefit of these practices, comprehension into a self-ideas format. The second important aspect is, I took the example of even some people may think, oh, what about the image from the social networking? What about the image from YouTube, Google image? Oh, these are not the paper. No, that is not correct. I took the example here. So like if I am using the keyword in the Google image and some images are displayed, I cannot copy the image from here directly. There is only two options. One option is I have to create our own ideas or self ideas, and other second option is I have to connect with the author or the journal those has published this particular image. So only two ways you can survive or you can avoid the issue of plagiarism. Otherwise, unethical questions will be raised. Another example I took from my own Facebook page, like suppose some images are displayed here. Even we cannot take the image from the Facebook page or the YouTube or any social network site. It will raise the issue of copyright issue, and ultimately it will come into the form of unethical practices. So what is the conclusion? Any image, any figure from any sources, whether it is internet or Google or networking site, it is equally important to be careful so that these images or the figure, whenever we are going to use, cite and have the due permission from the original authors. Now, once we go for the, definitely there are many questions among the students. Oh, the comprehension into the self ideas. How to check, how to judge whether the comprehended text or image or the figures are correct without any plagiarism? The first answer to my side is, first option is the self-integrity and self-judgment is very important to avoid plagiarism. And even this option is not going to be workable to a certain extent. We can take the help of available various softwares are available. Like, our DPU, they also have the paid version of Authenticate where student and faculty, they can check their review article or the thesis for their issue of new ideas or the plagiarism. Okay, very fine. So we have removed the issue of plagiarism, everything is fine. Ideas are good, images are good, story is created in a very coherent way or in a very flow way. But still there is a third hurdles are still there in review activities. These hurdles are known as to comply with the citation and references style from the journals or publishers. Because you look at here. So as a student or faculty, we develop a draft or the manuscript or the paper or thesis. But it has to be published by someone else under certain copyright issue, under certain rules and regulations. That is why we have to also comply with the journals and publishers guidelines. And that is why I thought, one example, look at here. So this is the umpire or the referee for the cricket. So that this referee always prefer this particular dress. This referee will never allow the dress of soccer to enter into the pitch. That means the responsibility of the referee or the journal or the publisher to maintain their own style, to maintain their own guidelines, to maintain their own uniqueness. Likewise, whenever you will prepare your document like thesis or review articles, it will go to the umpire or the referees. They will check whether you have complied with the guidelines of the journals or publisher, and in that time, there is no option. Only option is to have to comply with the set style, set structure of the citation and the. That is why it is also very important. Okay, how to resolve this particular issue? Whether the managing, because as a student you will think, oh, I have invested 2 months of time to develop or comprehend ideas. It has taken a lot of time. Again, I have to invest time to go for managing the citation style or the reference style as per the instruction from the journal. Yes, we have to manage. And that is why, the important aspect to understand here, how to comply. So, I prepared one aspect. So the word citation or the references, these are not new. You might have come across in newspaper, various other textbook, etc. So right now in a very small, what I mean to say, any reference article like we discussed today in the beginning, we are going to refer. We are going to comprehend. Very good. We have to understand the data or the ideas. But this reference article has to be cited along with our own new ideas. Like suppose we have created a paragraph with new ideas, imagination, but that paragraph has to be cited with proper author or the original author from where we have referred the ideas. And that is why source of citations are very important. And there are huge number, but I have listed few important that like research paper, definitely peer reviewed are cited, books can be cited, conference proceedings can be cited in your paper, thesis can be cited, even newspaper articles can be cited, patents can be cited, project report like thesis can be cited. Even from various agencies like WHO, ICMR, various reports are available that can be cited. And most importantly nowadays, even pre-print paper as we discussed today, various servers are available. Those papers can also be cited in your review activities. Another important point is, okay, we know these are the various papers I have referred during the comprehension of the new ideas. How to manage it? Whether it is going to be difficult, because suppose as a student or in your review activities, you have referred or you have accumulated hundreds of papers, 100 papers. How to manage those 100 papers in the form of citation and references becomes a little bit tedious and difficult. But there is no any option. We have to manage it. We have to allow the citation and reference style as a manageable activities. And that is why in the literacy and scientific fields, these are all very, very important aspects. One more thing, do not hesitate to cite a paper if you feel that that paper has contributed to your ideas. Because citation in literacy and scientific fields are like a medals or appreciation, like for a sports person. So please be generous. At the same time, please be very smart enough so that because we cannot accommodate thousands of paper as a citation. At the same time, please ensure that most of the interest paper falling within your story or research topic should be cited. Again, for a student, citation is like a first instance information, FIR, for a reader, like as a student. If you are going to refer any paper for a original ideas, so that is going to first instant information. It is our responsibility to write very properly, to give due credit, so that the original author, they will be highly appreciated. That is the whole very importance in the citation or to cite in your text. Another important question most of the time students, they have, 20 page or 30 page of manuscript is there or review document you will prepare. How to cite? What is the style of citation? And there are various citation style, and this is for your knowledge. No need to worry here. The whole importance is here. These various style of citation are different, but the motives are the same. And what is the motive here? Irrespective of the style, the motive is to give the due credit, to give the due credential to the original authors if they have invested their time, their intellectual abilities for a particular. Now it is very important to mention here for the biological sciences. The most important citation styles are used as that is CSE style, that is Council of Science Ethics, where once your paragraph is going to be completed, in a circular bracket, we have to put the name of the first author, that is their name, and then year style, that is called as name and year style. Here, What is the most important point is you will discuss with your mentor, and mentor will advise you according to the choice of the journal. What is their citation style? And then you can revise your method. Then next question is always there, oh, it is going to be tedious or difficult at the end of the day. No, nowadays it is not going to be difficult. So if you look at here, there are various softwares are available. There are various sources are available where you can manage your citation and references. Now, if you look at here, from the beginning of your first day of review activities, like, if I say, define your topic, till the submission or the writing of your paper, these all steps are going to be there. No need to get afraid. So these are the part and parcel of the, any scientific document. And if you will learn today, then tomorrow you are going to be more comfortable and very less time taking process will be there for you. Now the last point is, if it is manageable, what are the easiest sources? And that is why I took the snapshot of Microsoft Word. Even in Microsoft Word, there is an option of references. You can explore these software, how to manage your references and citation in your, if this is the paper or the text, so I can manage from here. Only important aspect is discuss with your mentor and learn a little bit so that your task will be a little bit smarter and less tedious. Even there are various paid subscribed sources like RedCube is there, where you can do each and every aspect of your manuscript, starting from the collection, curation, organize, read, annotate, share, and cite. Everything is there. But yes, these sites are paid services. Even there are well famous EndNote system is there from Web of Sciences. So what I mean to convey here, as a student, if you will know these softwares, even though it is paid or subscribed, at least you will have knowledge. After a few years, once you will grow up, then you can utilize these resources. Even for the student, time to time, there are various training programs are conducted by like EndNote and Cube system, so that your efficiency of managing citation and references are very, very efficient and productive. And then last, this particular slide is, imagine these tools of manager of citation and references are not working, these are not available with you, no need to worry. You can also manage manually in your Word file, no need to worry. Because most of the journal or publisher, I think mentor will suggest you, they provide the clear guidelines or the instruction. Oh, what should be the citation style? What should be the reference style? Everything is clear. So as a student, at the beginning, if you face difficulties by accessing these EndNote and Cube system, you can do no problem. And then last conclusion is, for the student, everything is manageable. Starting from developing new ideas, managing citation or the references is manageable. Only thing you have to do, you have to go explore these websites what we referred today. And again, last point, what I have referred and cited is just a tip of iceberg. So these are just an example. For plant biotechnology or industrial microbiology, the different databases may be available. Different reference article sources may be available, but the basic of these aspects will be almost the same, and that will be helpful. And the last point is, as a student, like if someone is in first year, nothing is going to happen in one night or all of a sudden. So we have to work drop by drop so that your activities or achievement will be fulfilled sooner or later. Thank you very much. If any question.
Thank you, Professor Sharma. It was really informative. So with your permission and with the permission of the panelists, I will begin the question answer session, and I hope you'll all be very happy to take them. So we have the question from one of the students. This question is for Professor Sharma.
Yes, please.
So
yes.
The question is, do we have subscription for Web of Science apart from Science Direct and other journals or other?
Yes. Yeah. So Puspa, I would like to share here. the Web of Science is again a database. So good thing is that, the number of the paper, those are listed in the Web of Science, that is WS, is also listed in, Scopus, is also listed in Science Direct. So please do not, it is a good question. Please do not assume that the paper, those are listed in Web of Science are going to be completely different from Scopus. No, that is not true. So most of the high impact papers are listed in almost all the databases. So if a paper is in WOS, Web of Science, it is also in PubMed. It is also in, Scopus, Ibisco. So no need to worry. However, our university, they have the limited, subscription for the WOS. So that will not be a hurdle for you. So once you will start your activities. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So any other panelists would like to add on that? If any panelists would like to add on what Professor Sharma has already talked about.
I just want to compliment Dr. Sharma. It was a very nice presentation, and you have covered all the topics in a very simple manner. And I'm sure this presentation will be useful to all the students.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, so now the second question, again to Professor Sharma. How
Yes.
important are images in a review article?
How important is?
Are images or illustrations?
Oh yes, it is very, very important. If you see the movie, a 3-hour movie, trailer is also very, very important. Summary is very important. So a review article sometimes becomes very lengthy. So it is also very important to summarize whole review paper in a very crisp and simple manner. Again, important to understand. If you are able to draw the image from your side, that means you are able to understand, yes or no? And if you are able to understand, then the audiences are going to appreciate. That is the key message. So do not copy and paste from the complicated images or, whatever available in the literature. So try your best, okay? And create your own images, even it is simpler, no problem. But it is important.
Professor Sharma, may I request you to stop sharing the screen, please?
Oh, yes, thank you. Just a minute.
And Pal sir has also joined in. I think he joined in the middle of the talk. So welcome, Pal sir.
Yes. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, we can move on to the next question.
Yeah. Any other panelists who want to what Professor Sharma has said so until now?
I want to add 1 or 2 points.
Sure, sir.
Professor Sharma has done a good job. He was mentioning about citation style and reference style. I don't know whether every student understands the difference between these two. Citation is something when you are writing a text, you are referring some papers, that is called citation, right? And when all those that you are citing in your text, when you put them at the back in the form of bibliography, that is also called references section. So both these have different kind of style. The citation you can make in numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can make by name of the first author. If there are 2 authors, first and second, followed by the year. Or if there are more than 3 authors, then you can put first author, surname, and et al. So these are different styles followed by different journals. Some follow numbers, some even follow superscript numbers, right? So these are called citation style. And the reference style, which is at the end of the paper, where you are listing out all that you have cited, that also has a style. Each journal would have, or a collection of journals would have similar kind of style. You can put the author, full author names, followed by the year, then the title of the paper, then the journal, then the volume, then the page numbers. Some style would have year of publication given at the end. So this is called the reference style. So you should keep in mind while writing up, these are the styles that you have to distinguish. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, now this question is for Professor Pal. It's a little bit tricky. So how do we get access to the full paper, especially when many of them require subscription?
Professor Sharma can answer that. I can partly answer that.
Yeah.
That there are many open access journals. Those are mentioned when you do the search, and the full length paper is automatically available. You can just click on it and you can get full length paper. Many of these open access journals, they make the entire paper available to the readers. There are certain others where it is not available, only the abstract is available. Either you have to subscribe for the journal, or the best is when our library subscribes for, like we have EBSCO. A large number of life science and medical journals are part of it. If you have the password login, you can automatically download the full article from the website. So all they require is, if they already know that you are a subscriber, then automatically you get it. If not, they will ask for charges. So you have to pay and you have to get the full length article. These are the different ways. So instead of going into the last option, the best is only refer to our EBSCO subscription, and most of the articles that you will get from there. And there are many other articles which are very important articles and old ones. They are also made available, the full length article online itself. The old issues of important journal, PNAS, Nature, Science, you also would get. Right? So I think I have answered this question. If Nilesh has to add something, can I add?
So I would like to add here, ResearchGate is also, in my perspective, I'm referring repetitively. It is very important for the student, beginner, because once you will create your own login ID and password, you can even search within the ResearchGate, and many of the articles are available as a full text. However, if it is not available as a full text, you can request to the respective author. Another important, I would like to, if Dr. Satish permit me, I can share the PubMed, so that full text article, how it is going to be accessed, like Professor Pal sir has suggested. Just I will share one page here.
Yeah,
Give
sure,
me time.
sure.
So dear student, if you look at here, so here is the option as Professor Pal sir was suggesting. If I click here or I select this particular option, so what will happen? The PubMed will automatically redefine its search. And look at here, surprisingly, the answer is here. So out of 40,000 of paper that was retrieved earlier, now it is at least 20,000 of the paper are full-length articles. That is what Professor Pal sir suggested. No need to worry. Huge information, because, and it is also very important, we cannot refer thousands of paper. We are also only going to refer a selected.
After the paper, there is a red highlight, free PMC article.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So that means it is a free article.
Yes. So that will be beneficial to the student. No need to worry whether it is full text or not full text. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I would like to add one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Another very smart thing is, suppose we don't have subscription for such kind of journals which you are interested to get articles. You look for friends abroad in particular. We used to do that.
Yeah,
Send a
I was
message.
about to say that.
Can you download this article for me and send it? So that is another way. If you have your seniors working abroad, and those institutions' libraries are much more enriched, so they are quickly they can download and send it back to you. Okay?
So, sir, whole key message is no need to worry about availability of full-length article. Whole importance is to initiate your activities, and then slowly you will get it done.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Professor Navani, would you mind answering this question? Should the review be 100% plagiarism free? How can we, I think that's the question. Like, how can we ensure that it is?
Yeah, it has to be 100% plagiarism free. That is what is expected, because it's your own thoughts which you are expressing. and you're critically evaluating the data which is already published and then putting it in your words along with your critical comments in it. So obviously it is expected that it should be free of any plagiarism. And as Dr. Sharma already mentioned in his presentation, that there are specific softwares which are available to check if your text is free of plagiarism.
Yes.
Even our own university has a software which is called Authenticate. So, but many final year students are coming back to us and saying that, okay, it is even, marking or highlighting the reference list. So what are we supposed to do? See, these things are going to happen. So when you start using the software, you will understand that there are a lot of filters which one can put in. So when you start accessing the software, start using it, then you realize how full potential the software is having. So there are not only Authenticate, there are a lot of many other softwares which are available. So of course, the one which is accessible to you is here with us, right?
Let me add one thing in this. As per our UGC guideline, latest 10% or lower or maximum up to 10% copying is allowed, because it happens with many of the methods, many of the references, they automatically you have to write the same as others write. So therefore, up to 10% is allowed, 10% similarity is allowed when you screen through these softwares.
Okay, thank you so much for that insight. Professor Sharma, this question is for you because there are a number of questions from students who are asking that how do we shortlist keywords even before we have actually read the paper, or what is the method by which we can actually design or not design, formulate the keywords? Like how do we bring it?
Yes. Dear student, keywords can be designed based on the discussion. Discussion is very important. So once you will start sitting together with your mentor, then you will express your, oh, this is the broad topic, what I'm looking for. Then you can devise. Otherwise, all of a sudden, you cannot devise the keywords by sitting at the desk. You have to come and discuss with your mentor by Zoom or in any other conferencing, and then you will solve the issue. And that is why the keywords is what I understand is the driving wheels of your activities. Until unless you are not clear about the 10 keywords, then it will be nearly impossible to make a story what you are intending for. So, but it is not a difficult task. Only you have to sit together, discuss with your, discussion is important, I feel.
Okay.
I can add something here, if you allow me.
Yes.
So you always start with a broader topic, okay? And when you start with a broader topic, you have to read 1 or 2 articles which are very broad. And then you have to identify what is the problem that you wish to address. So when you know which problem are you going to address, then it is easy to narrow down your keywords. So always start broad, read some basic papers, basic review articles, identify what question you are going to address in your review, and then shortlist the keywords. And then once you have finalized those keywords, you have to do an extensive literature search so that you can select the papers which are, or reviews which are going to be useful for you to help you build your idea and to help you come up with a solution or address the question which you are asking. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Navani. So this question is for Dr. Rajesh. As first year students, can get some tips on understanding the basic concepts of a particular paper. Have you been able to hear it?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So as first year students, can we get some tips on understanding basic concepts of a particular paper?
Actually, for the first year students, basically, where if they actually participating in review writing, actually. So to start with, I would suggest, because like they have just started studying the broad subjects like cell biology, immunology, genetics, and other subject biological subjects, biochemistry. So first they have to definitely go through the concept that have been taught in the classrooms, and then they can understand the subjects better. And there is actually some of the journals like current opinion journals. So in some of the current opinion journals, they actually publish some of the topics, recent topics, as well as old topics, which is established topics, in a very simplified manner. And for a particular point, they also put like a star 1, star 2, star 3, something like that. So those studies, actually, those are some star 1, they are actually basic papers. Star 2, they are basically something advanced. Those star 3, they are more advanced paper. So while reading those actually conceptual papers, they can then refer those papers, and that will give better conceptually understanding that particular topic if they are going for writing that. So that is one's current opinion in actually cell biology, current opinion in actually immunology. These are the, these journals are basically helpful. And there are some basic articles also are written. They can easily get, and the authors, they write in such a simplified manner, they can also understand by those articles also. And of course, wherever you have some, actually you are not able to understand, I would always suggest to actually refer some actually standard reference book where the topic is first actually uh, explained in a very simplified manner. So that's why we always actually mention in our actually, while we teach, a while actually at the end of our syllabus also, some standard reference book. So that can be also helpful to go further in the review writing. That is my opinion actually.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh. Would any other panelists like to add something more or add question?
I think I would like to add to some of the questions that the junior students are asking in particular. I think while making the groups by the mentor, the junior student should be put along with the senior student, a mixing kind, so that they get automatic guidance from the senior students who are little more mature in terms of knowledge of different subjects as compared to the junior ones. So while grouping, always you make a mixture of such kind of group so that automatically they become part of a mature students group, and then they learn from them than simply all juniors put together or all seniors put together while making a group for writing a review, a single review. So I think that mixing up is going to be useful for them.
Thank you, sir. This question is for Professor Sharma. So there are two questions which I have clubbed together. What should be the length of a review article? And what is the difference between meta-analysis and short review?
Yes. So dear student, this particular category of review article, even Professor Navani in the beginning, she has narrated. There are certain differences. Like, if I say mini review, and if any of the first year student or student, they can plan for mini review. And most of the journal, they recommend around the word of 2,500 to 3,000 word. That is most of the acceptable. And if you are going to beyond like 5,000 words or 7,000, now there is no limit. Then it will be full. Definitely, systematic review is tedious task. Systematic review, I do not believe, even all of us agree, cannot be possible within 1 month or 2 months. Because, it needs huge team, huge contribution from the different people. But yes, as a student, what I recommend, you can discuss with your mentor, and you can start targeting or achieving, at least mini review in your interest topic. That is will be more feasible within this. Yes, you can. If you are interested to work with your mentor for like 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year, you can set the goal, no problem. But yes, for this particular summer activities for 2 months, I believe that will be a better option. 3,000 words or 4,000 words will be enough. Thank you.
Okay.
Shall I add something to this?
Yes, sure, sir. Please go ahead.
It seems that I'm trying to give more information as much as possible. There are certain review journals where there is a page limit, right? I'll give an example, Trends in Biochemical Sciences or Trends in Immunology. The Trends group of journals generally would have limitation in terms of the length of the review that you write. They prefer short reviews. Whereas there are other review journals like Current Topics in the other similar seminars in something, they generally do not restrict the length of the review. So to an extent, it also depends on the journal, review journal that you are choosing. And generally those short review journals, they are mostly for the more veteran people and more experienced people. They naturally can express important information in a shorter version, as opposed to the junior ones who are beginning. They tend to write a lot, and so you should choose journals which are allowing you to have lengthless and no limitation of the length of the review. But for your purpose, don't even venture for writing too large a review. A short review, let's say a printed page, 5 to 10 is good enough. If we can do this in 2 months.
Okay, sir. Thank you. This is one question I'm throwing it open for any one of the panelists to answer, because I'm not quite sure what the person wants to write, but it says some topics which mention experiments, can we refer to them in our reviews, or should we perform the experiments ourselves? Just a moment, please. Should we perform the experiment ourselves so as to not insinuate plagiarism? So I repeat the question. Maybe it was tough for me to even understand. Some topics which mention experiments, can we refer to them in our reviews, or should we perform the experiments ourselves so as to not to insinuate plagiarism?
Nilu madam, you can answer.
Yeah, I can answer that. So there is no need to do the experiment yourself. If you are, kind of referring a paper just to check a method, then you don't have to perform it yourself. You have to just write the method, understand the method, and write it in your own words. Plagiarism essentially is just copying something verbatim, word to word you're copying. Sometimes you rephrase it and you think you get rid of plagiarism. That's not a good idea. The idea behind science is that you read the method, you understand the method, put it in your own words. So that is, and for that you don't have to actually, perform the experiment yourself. If you perform the experiment yourself, of course, if that is your topic of interest, and you're making some modification in the method and you're getting a better result, then that's an advantage. Because if let's say if you're finding out a new method for protein estimation, I'm sure you're going to compare that new method which you have developed with the existing methods. And when you compare that, you will have to write down some drawbacks of the old methods and what is the advantage of your new method, whether it is in terms of reproducibility or in terms of sensitivity or in terms of quantitation, like it is able to give you better results than other methods. So then in that case, you are going to perform anyways, because you are developing a method. So that's a totally different thing. But for writing a review on a general topic, you don't have to perform an experiment.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Navani. Professor Pal, do you wish to add something?
I think Dr. Rajesh Gupta can add to it.
Yes,
Recently, he wrote a review where he put some of his own data, and my comments and his final decision he can share.
Yeah, Dr. Gupta, yeah, we'll be happy to hear you.
As advised by the sir, that review article is on basically lectins, role of lectin in the as a carbohydrate binding agents in the binding the N-link glycosylation sites of that. So, sir, you're talking of the same this paper or seminar?
Yeah.
So we have actually compile all the informations that is available on the whatever lectins that has been used, and and first used, and it was actually lectin was actually used as a anti carbohydrate binding agent on the different strains of SARS-CoV. Actually, that is came in 2002 and 2004 March. And then we have actually we did some experiment where we have studied the interactions of some of the lectins that is actually used earlier, and sir has suggested that, and those experiments are preliminary experiments. So as advised by the sir, we have actually separated those results, and those results are written in our language in a subsections of that. Our early results, and in a perspective way, and that results can be further we can work it out. So it is actually like a separate we have just mentioned at the end of that, but those results are we have mentioned it properly inside. So actually we have done like that, and if we make it like a perspective, and then some of the points that is written as the review article.
So I think if it enhances the quality of the review,
yes, sir,
some such original preliminary information can be added in a proper context. But for our students who are beginning to know how to write review, I think it is better to have a clear-cut separation between our own research, which should be preferably published as a research article, versus reviewing the work of others should be only restricted in the review article. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Professor Pal. Thank you, Dr. Gupta. I think we have time to take two more questions. This is one question: how should we write a review so that we can get more citations? And the second question is, which set of reviews, that is mini review or meta-analysis, which one of them get more number of citations? Like they are interested to know which type of reviews get maximum number of citations, and how do we make our reviews more citable, or people are referring to it more number of times.
I can partly answer that, and then somebody else can take it up.
Yeah, sure.
See, it is entirely dependent on the topic. The topic of the review, if it is a very contemporary and challenging topic, and if you have been able to compile all the information in that area and have been able to raise very interesting questions for future research, that kind of topic is going to be read by one and all in this area or even other areas. And that would be more cited than any topic which is super specialized, and also does not have much significance in the form of the write-up that you have presented in that. So basically, more highly impact factor review journals are more cited as compared to the others. And sometimes less impact factor journal reviews are also cited. In my talk, sometimes I give an example. Out of my about 100 publications, the one which was most cited is written from India, and it was reaching now 400 citations, and it was published in a journal where I also wrote the journal top page. I was invited to contribute, and that review was so interesting that any people in the area of life science would like to read that review, because it was about gene expression linkage with disease. And it is a very hot topic at that time, I thought. But now also people are referring, every day I see one or two citations of that paper. And biology of cell is not a very high impact factor journal. It's barely around 4 or 5, I think. So despite having low impact factor, this was the highest, received the highest citation among all my publications, including publications like PNAS, which I have published earlier, or JBC. But this journal, this paper got the highest citation. So it depends on the topic. It depends on how you have presented that. It depends on what people are looking for to get all interesting information in one place. So it's a matter of luck sometimes, or matter of your wise thoughts to begin with to choose a topic. It depends on, and also the journal to an extent.
Thank you, Professor Paul. Any other panelists who would like to add? Yes, Dr. Gupta, go ahead.
Actually, this is my personal experience. When I started working in the area of lectins, and my supervisor has actually some files that is kept very systematic way. And I found one article that was written by one of the pioneer scientists, Professor Nathan Sharon from Israel. The paper came in Science, and the title was Lectins as a Cell Recognition Molecule. And I really enjoyed reading that paper, and it was written around 1980s. And whenever I have to actually go for actually writing some thought and getting some thought, still I go and I have a copy of that paper, and I still read that paper. And every time when I read, I get something from that paper, and still it is so refreshed. It gives you more and more idea. And my PhD thesis idea is also came from that review article. Actually, what is the role of liver lectins in the clearance of age erythrocytes? Liver lectins in the clearance of age erythrocytes in the liver. And that's why we've actually purified lectin from liver and studied the hemolysis activity by those lectins. So that was idea came from that paper only, from Nathan Sharon paper. Basically. So it's really good to go for some of the review article to find some new idea and new concept and to work on those things also.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta. So yes. We have one more question coming in. Professor Sharma, would you mind answering this? It's articles which we refer are many in number and the content is very lengthy. So how to decide what to skip, what not to skip? I think we have answered this question in the previous seminar, but I think the question is coming in. In few topics, everything looks very important. So how do we short or how do we cut short on the information?
Yes, definitely that is the aspect of, as we discussed in the last session, filtering and pinpointing is very, very important. Like, if I set the example, cancer and epigenetics, 40,000 of papers are there in PubMed, for example. If I include one more filter or the pinpointing the topic, cancer and epigenetics and histone demethylase. So that means we are going to go for very precise knowledge on the importance of histone demethylase in cancer epigenome. Yes or no? So likewise, in a practice by discussion with your mentor, if huge number of papers are going to be retrieved in your search, we have to discuss and sit together how to go for very precise topic. Otherwise, what will happen? It will be like an ocean of papers will come to you, and then it will be never ending. However, at the same time, even though by filtering all the keywords, everything, still you are finding 500s of paper. And 500 of paper you cannot include in your review articles. So that is the whole difficulties. So how to sort it out? So go by, out of 500, only those research articles, those have generated the new ideas or the new experimental finding in the last 5 years you can select, or 10 years you can select, and accordingly you can manage the lengthy number of papers. That will save you time also. Otherwise, it will be very difficult at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Any other panel add on to that? Okay. So I think one quick question, and I think Professor Navani can answer this. If I'm using data from some research, but I'm representing it in a diagram that I have designed myself, should I give credit to the researcher? And if yes, how?
So if you have obtained a lot of valuable information from the particular paper, then of course it is good to cite that paper. Even if you have made the diagram yourself or table yourself, so you can always cite the paper and add it up in the reference list. But if you have taken very less information and you have made a table, still I would say, even if you're taking small information, doesn't matter. It's always good to cite.
So someone wants to know which papers are actually cited, research papers or review papers?
Both.
Yes, actually it's both. So anyway, there's one more question. Will our review paper be published if it is up to the mark?
Why not?
Yes.
Okay. So I think we have come to the end of this question answer session. It was really informative, and I would like to thank Professor Sharma for his wonderful talk. I also take this opportunity to thank Professor Pal, Professor Neelu Navani, Dr. Rajesh Gupta for their insights and views. Yes, Professor Sharma, do you want to add something?
Satish, no, I saw some of the query from the student side, how to have the PowerPoint
Yeah, they would like
available to the
take
student.
PowerPoint. I'll
So I request you
And,
to share the.
yeah, actually, I have
PowerPoint.
replied that we are in the process of editing the videos, and once the videos are edited, we are going to upload them on the YouTube. So please give us some time to edit the videos.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
So I thank Professor Pal, Professor Navani, Dr. Gupta for their insights. Thank IPSA and Krunal for their help. I also thank Rituja and Shrishti for their help. So thank you once again. See you all in the training session number 3.
Thanks to you, Dr. Satish, for coordinating
Thank you.
the sessions. And also
Thank
many
you.
thanks to the participants who are attending the sessions. And I'm sure these sessions are proving useful to them. The next Friday, we meet and we listen to Dr. Rajesh. He's going to speak about how to make a skeleton of your review article and also how to organize yourself properly. Okay.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you all
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
for attending.
Thank you, Pal sir, for attending.
Thank
And
you,
thank
sir.
you, Dr. Sharma, for the
Thank you,
talk.
Paul.
Thank you all. Yeah.
Thank you.